Hi everyone, Flossy here again. Once again, I'm going to look at 3 Eurovision songs. My favourite's going to get 3 points, my least favourite is going to get 1 point. So far I've looked at 33 songs, so there's only literally a handful left to go. But I will say, before I get to looking at the songs, I was very lucky. I got to see Hamilton this weekend in the West End. I actually saw it the night before the Olivier Awards, where it won a load of awards. I would completely recommend going to see this show. Like, it's hyped up like a million times, and it is well worth the hype. It's the most incredible thing I have ever seen. So if you get the chance, go see this show. Now on to the Eurovision songs. The first song I'm looking at today is from the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia, and the band is called IQ with Lost and Found. With this, I looked it up on YouTube, and there's an official music video for it. And there is a live version. The live version isn't the whole song, and you can tell it's recorded on someone's phone, so it's less good quality. So what I did was I watched the music video first to make my full impressions of the actual song, and then I watched this little live video just to get a taste of it. It wasn't very good quality, but this song is in English, and it had a very sudden opening. Well, to me at least, it's just suddenly it just bang got into the song. And like a lot of songs, it had a slow opening. This song had a very nice groove, and it was very chill, which I quite liked. There was a bit, I think it's interestingly structured. I couldn't quite tell what bits were the chorus and what were the verses. But there was this one point where she keeps on singing these lines, and each one starts with "Come and take me." And that does get a bit too repetitive, but luckily by the time she finishes doing that bit, she goes on to something else. So I do like there was a good guitar build up, which I liked, and it seemed like a very quick song. It was over quite quickly. I think it's because it seemed quite an eclectic song. It just was structured quite a bit differently than what you're used to. It wasn't like this is a straight verse which goes into the chorus, then another verse, then another chorus, and then a bigger version of the chorus. It just had a nice little eclectic ring to it. Vocally, when on this sort of low quality video I watched, I thought she easily transitioned between the different speeds and styles of the song, the different bits and bobs. I will say she sounds a bit out of breath, but that might be the quality of the recording. You can't really tell with low quality recordings how completely in and out of tune they are. Staging wise, I think this is going to be a lot less awkward to stage compared to last year. I loved Macedonia's song last year, but the style of the song and the content and what it was about makes it slightly harder to stage than some other songs might be, because that song was about dancing alone, but it was a very fast-paced song, so you couldn't have dancers because it was dancing alone, but you needed something going on, and it just slightly went off the mark, which was unfortunate. So I think this will be a lot better for this. I think it's an interesting song. I'm pretty sure I like it. It's just I think it's how structured it is just throws me off slightly. I think after a few more listens I'll be yes, I definitely like it. I do like how nice and chill it is, and I like how much easier it will be to stage. My second song today is Finland's song. It's by Sara Aalto, and the song is called Monsters. This song has a big chance to perform very well in the UK, as Sara Aalto is a previous X Factor contestant in the UK, and 2 other countries have had UK X Factor contestants represent them. Spain in 2014 with Ruth Lorenzo, forgetting her name then, and then Ireland twice, 2011 and 2012, with Jedward, the Legends. And both of them had points from the UK, so there's a bit of a history there with us giving points to X Factor entrants. The only issue with that is she's from a less popular year. Ruth and Jedward were from when X Factor was in its prime. Sarah isn't so much. I knew who she was, but I stopped watching long before then, so I didn't know what she actually sounded like. This was a really interesting sort of selection process It's somewhat similar to how the Netherlands did it, but this incorporated a public vote as well. With the Netherlands, they selected their artist and he unveiled 5 songs over the course of 5 days, and on the final day he said which of the songs he was actually going to use. For this one, she released 3 songs and then did a live show where the public could vote which of the 3 songs they wanted. So she was internally selected, just the public got to choose which of the songs they used. The song is in English. Like all the other songs this year, it seems, it's got a slow opening. I found the chorus was quite catchy and memorable, but I do think it's more notable and memorable than the verses. The verses didn't really stick out to me as anything special. Vocally, listening to her the first time, I thought her vocals sounded a bit quirky at the start. I wasn't too sure she was in tune the entire time. I watched the live performance, so I was there like, not sure. But I think she had a very good belt when she got into it. Staging wise, there was a lot going on at the start of the song. Like, she started off in a box and there were dancers surrounding her and then they were twirling everything. I thought once she got out of the box, it got a lot better. I also, on a very shallow note, I did not like her outfit and I hope she wears something different on actual Eurovision. For this, overall, I don't know if I like it. I think the chorus is good, but it's the verses are letting it down somewhat, and it feels as though I was waiting for something to happen throughout the entire song that never happened, which was irritating. But like I said before, it got better once she got out of the box and was singing with the dancers in the background, because then it was a lot less going on. My final song tonight is going to be Georgia's song. It's by the Ethno-Jazz band Irio. I don't know how to pronounce that, so sorry. And the song is called For You. This was interesting. I think these were one of the first artists selected, but the song was revealed much later. And I remember people talking about this because they were saying there's actually 7 members of this band, and the rules of Eurovision is you're only allowed 6 people on stage, so one of the members got the cut, I think, for this. I only watched the music video for this. I couldn't seem to find any live performances. And the song is interesting. The song is in Georgian, but the title's in English. So I don't know, maybe they're trying to make the title more universal and appeals to everyone, so you remember what the song is, but even if you don't understand what it's saying, if you get what I mean. Like other songs, it has a slow opening. This one's a ballad. To me, this one, I think this is the one song that feels the most influenced by Portugal last year. And it was irritating as well at one point. There was the moment when it was building up before the chorus and you were waiting for like them to start proper belting. And because there's like 6 guys, I'm not sure, I don't think all of them were singing, but most of them were. And you were waiting for this big grand moment like Il Volo? Italy in 2015. You know, they're big notes. That I was waiting for that to happen with this, and they just suddenly went very soft and gentle instead and built up again before they started belting, which was annoying. I do like the actual payoff when they did that though, and I liked the orchestral elements of it. The only issue is I felt like there was a lot going on with this song. It just, something didn't quite sit right for me with it. Vocally, there were no live vocals obviously, but I felt like they all had strong vocals. I didn't think they mixed well together perfectly, but it was good enough. And like, this is the type of song I think can be very easily staged, which is optimistic. Overall, I don't know what to make of it. I think it's very unique compared to a lot of the songs this year. And I do like the mix of classic and modern elements. It was only as I was writing that down, I was like, oh, that makes sense with the Ethno-Jazz bit in their name. I just felt like there was a lot going on with this song, which stops me from really liking it. So I don't know what to think of this song. Overall today, I think all 3 songs are intriguing, but in different ways. I'm not too sure what to think this time. I think there's not been any that has really stood out to me particularly. But I'm going to give Georgia 1 point. It just felt like the song had a bit too much going on. It didn't instinctively stand out for me. And I'm not too sure it'd be particularly remembered. I think it's in semi-final 2, I think. So that will be up against songs like Sweden and, you know, Russia's song and everything like that. Like the really strong competitors who normally qualify every year are in that semi-final, which doesn't bode well for it, but you never know. It does feel the most influenced by Portugal, so maybe that'll pay off in some way. I'm going to give 2 points to Finland. I like the chorus. I think they just slightly need to tone down the staging at the start, and hopefully her vocals will improve. I know from what I've heard, she's a solid performer, but maybe it was just this one performance, so hopefully it'll get better. And so I'm going to give my 3 points to Macedonia. I think it was the only song I could say I definitely liked. I thought it was very interestingly structured, and like I said before, the staging will be easier than last year. And from the, you know, even though it was a low quality clip, I think the vocals were promising. So fingers crossed for that. So Macedonia is joining Croatia, Belgium, Armenia, Switzerland, Spain, Romania, the Netherlands, Moldova, Italy, Denmark and Czech Republic, with having 3 points. And Georgia is joining Cyprus, Azerbaijan, Austria, Ukraine, Slovenia, San Marino, Montenegro, Malta, Hungary, Germany and Albania with only 1 point. I've only got 6 songs left to go now. I'm not too sure what to make of this round, honestly. It does feel like as well there's been an influx of female singers. Maybe it's just I've just happened to be looking at a lot of female-led songs recently, but I think Georgia's song, like, that was the main way it probably stood out to me. I was like, oh, it's not a woman singing. Not that there's anything wrong with that, obviously, but there's just a lot of them, and sometimes that can cause clashes. Like, I think there's a stereotype in Eurovision that the female ballads tend to do really well, but last year showed that that definitely isn't the case, and I think the UK actually had one of the strongest outings for the female ballad, and we only came in 15th. I think the only female ballad, the only 2 that came higher were Belgium in 4th place. 4th place? Yeah. And the Netherlands, which either made the top 10 or just missed it. So maybe it's just we're moving away from that, but the female singers, solo female singers, there's going to be a lot of them, and that might clash with each other. I don't know. That probably sounds really bad, and I don't mean it to, but it's just a case like if you had about 10 rock songs and then in the middle of them there was a solo female song, then the solo female song would stand out. But in this case, it's loads of solo female songs and then the one rock song. So the rock song's going to stand out. That's what I mean. I don't know what I'm talking about now. Okay, I've been Flossy. Ta-ta!